Hello, and welcome everyone to the first box office receipts episode of 2020, going over the first weekend of 2020, and that is the weekend of January 3rd. I'm your host, Tyler Callahan, and we don't have much to go over, except that it's January, which is bad movies, and boy, the Grudge did not disappoint here. I'll go over that, the weekend top 5, international numbers, and lastly, what is coming out this week. So for the weekend top 5, in first place for the third weekend in a row is Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker, with $34.5 million for a total of $451.5 million. In second place is Jumanji The Next Level with $26.2 million for a total of $235.9 million. In third place is Little Woman with $13.6 million for a total of $16 million. In fourth place is Frozen 2 with $11.8 million for a total of $450.4 million. Opening in fifth place is The Grudge with $11.4 million. Well, I almost started out the year strong, but I got only 4 out of 5 of my predictions right. Looking at the numbers, Star Wars is holding alright, but you are definitely seeing a repeat of 2017 happening, with Jumanji holding its own against Star Wars, and you see that more in the international numbers. Little Woman is also doing alright with its great word of mouth, and should pass 100 million domestic at this point. Now let's talk about The Grudge. Yes, it did have an opening in line with expectations, even if it means coming in 5th place. However, reviews critically are terrible, and word of mouth is toxic. It currently has a 20% rating from the audience on Rotten Tomatoes. The movie also got the dreaded F rating on CinemaScore, only the 20th film in history to receive it. If you do not know what that is a rating taken on the opening day to get an idea of what people thought. It is supposed to be skewed higher, as usually the people who are most interested see it the first day, so they should be the most excited, like die-hard fans, for example. So usually anything lower than a B+ is not great. What this F means is that the only people who could be excited about this movie hated it, and will most likely tell their friends and family not to see it. We can easily tell from this data that the legs will be quite short for the movie, and expect it to have a 60% drop or more next weekend. Now, let's talk about some international numbers. The Rise of Skywalker is close to hitting $1 billion, with it now at $919.5 million worldwide. Frozen 2 is now at $1.32 billion worldwide, and has now passed the first Frozen to become the highest grossing animated movie worldwide, if you don't count the Lion King remake. Depends if you're a person that thinks it's an animated movie or not. Golden Globes think so anyway. Jumanji The Next Level is at $374 million internationally, for a worldwide total of $609.9 million. It's holding great and should end up in the $800 million range, and at this point, almost guarantees a Jumanji 4. The Grudge made $5.8 million internationally for a worldwide opening weekend of $17.1 million. Little Woman is now at $20.4 million internationally for a worldwide total of $80.4 million. Spies in Disguise is at $42.1 million internationally for a worldwide total of $89.1 million. Knives Out is about to hit $250 million, with it now at $247.3 million. Now this weekend we actually have quite a few movies coming out. We have Underwater, Like a Boss, Just Mercy, and the big one, 1917. What seemed to be a simple World War I movie has turned into something that must be watched. The twist here that makes it unique is that it is framed to look like it is all in one take from start to finish. The movie has received rare reviews and got a couple of Golden Globe wins. Expect this to be one of the must-see movies for the next few weeks to get ready for the Oscars. So my prediction for the weekend top 5 is in first place 1917, second place Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker, third place Jumanji The Next Level, fourth place Just Mercy, and in fifth place Like a Boss. I think the race between first and second place will be closer than expected, but I think the latest hype for 1917 will push it over the edge. As it's been clear for a while, the legs on Star Wars are not what they were for previous movies. Anyway, what do you think will be in the top 5 this weekend? Let me know on Instagram at Tyler Callahan Media, and on Facebook. Link to the page is in the show notes. That'll be it for this week's episode of Box Office Receipts. Thanks for listening, and see you next week.